So here we are inside of the trailer, basically, and we're gonna cover everything that I notice and see in this trailer in exacting detail, every little feature that I can spot and bring to you guys' attention. There's a ton packed in here, so let's go ahead and get started. This screen is actually at the end of the entire trailer, and it mentions a whole bunch of stuff coming spring 2020. So we have a release time, which is next year in the beginning of the year. So we still have like about at least 9 months or so to wait. I'm sure that we're going to find out a ton of more about Dungeons at Minecon Earth. It's 4-player local and online co-op. So it's not just couch co-op, but it's also integrated online co-op. Super duper excited about that. Then it shows all of the release candidates, all of the consoles, all of the places that you can play this game. So Windows, that's exciting for someone like me. Xbox, I'd expect that. Microsoft owns Minecraft. Nintendo Switch, very fun, very cool. PS4, awesome. Also coming to Xbox Game Pass, which is the subscription service that Microsoft and Xbox have that allows you to pay monthly, and then you get access to a ton of extra games. So it sounds like this is going to be in it from the very beginning. You're always going to have this inside of Game Pass if you sign up for that. So that's pretty exciting if you already have Game Pass and you're already a subscriber. One thing that is missing from this list is iOS or Android. So this is not going to be a phone game. Looks like this is only going to be a console game and a PC game, which is a little bit surprising. I guess Minecraft Earth is filling that phone void for all that. So this is the end of the trailer, like I said. So this is my rewind animation all the way back to the beginning, which is the RB rating. We don't really need to see that. So at the very beginning of the trailer, we get this guy, which seems to be some sort of boss devil sort of guy. This is what they're using as their logo for a lot of the promotion. So this three-eyed situation going on here, and his mouth is, it's almost as if they're like making this the new creeper for this game. This is interesting to me because a lot of the gameplay later on will feel very Diablo-like. And Diablo has sort of this boss creature, Diablo, that is kind of centered around the whole campaign. So it's kind of interesting that they're really using this guy as a main focal point of the marketing. And so I'm wondering, is this kind of like a Diablo-esque sort of thing? But anyway, so he gives a big old scream. I mentioned it's a brand new game from the creators of Minecraft. If you didn't know that, you're kind of crazy. We get this really nice, we get a few different settings as we fly through here. This one is kind of cool. They got the little minecart going through, which kind of harkens back to the fact that this is a Minecraft game and you got a minecart in a Minecraft game. You see this, and we see the Lich guy. Not sure if that's his actual name. I'm totally making that up. But he was in the first teaser trailer that we got to see at Minecon Earth, which is now renamed to Minecon Live. But we saw that last year, that same guy with this army of skeletons. Now, what's interesting is this dungeon here seems to be near the surface. You can almost see sunlight pouring through the roof there. We get the sun ray right here as well. And we get plants coming in to this area. So I'm still unsure what the storyline of Dungeons is going to be. I'm sure that there is going to be some type of story included. I'm wondering if this is in the game of Diablo, you kind of keep going deeper and deeper into the levels of crypts. And so I'm wondering if maybe this is a early boss. Totally making that up, totally a guess. But the fact that he's near the surface kind of makes me feel that way. But has this huge army of the undead. One little thing to point out is that there is a skeleton horse right here that that guy's riding on. That's kind of cool. And that's about it. Next, we get this crazy flyover, and we see a creeper and a zombie, and this like ruins down here, a boat as well down there. And this flyover goes onto a character. It looks sort of like a normal character here. And then it immediately snaps into this view here, this top-down locked perspective, as if this is almost a cutscene right before the actual game. You can also see some tints and stuff back there, which is kind of neat. So now we are playing the game, and so this would be, we're assuming what a lot of the gameplay, this is where the gameplay part of the trailer starts. By the way, I'm going to point this out now just so I don't have to keep pointing it out over and over and over again. There's some really cool models and models that are not possible in normal Minecraft. So this suspension bridge here, or the tint back there, and even the boat way off in the distance down here, all of those models are different. So this is inspired by Minecraft, but obviously not absolutely Minecraft. Also, this, whatever this glowy plant is in that shot, but not in this shot over here. It's over here. So not exactly the same world there. But anyway, I really kind of enjoy this Minecraft style of building that's not actually using only Minecraft blocks. Kind of cool that they've branched out. But anyway, this first move that we see is almost a PvP move that you'd expect to see on like Hypixel or something like that, or this character uses a fishing rod to grab the skeleton. It almost looks enchanted in some way, and pull the skeleton towards the player, and then they kill it with a sword. And you see that interesting little grid attack thing. This, like, I don't know what you would call it. The fact that almost damage happened right there, I'm not exactly sure. And then immediately kills that skeleton. Now we move forward in this area, looks like, and we see our first pillager, illager sort of guy, and they handle him or her with a single ranged attack. So that's pretty cool. 2 immediate attacks, they're totally down. And then we get this new area that, so obviously this is like progressing through maybe a mission, like a normal mission. And this is some sort of spider den, and there is cobwebs everywhere. The cobwebs don't seem to be affecting the player all that much. The spiders are firing a ranged attack, which we've never seen in Minecraft before. And then they pick up a little bit of loot, which looks an awful lot like a tunic of some flavor. And so they grab that tunic and run off. And now they're wearing the tunic in the next scene. So maybe we had just finished a boss battle and now they're wearing a tunic and they're moving on. There's a nice little button right there that completes a redstone. This is like the most basic redstone puzzle I could ever imagine. You got some redstone. This pushes into the next little area. And then bam, it's complete. And we got an actual dungeon. Then you heard that little doodle-doo here. I have the music turned down because holy moly, this is a very loud, very, very loud trailer. But I'll turn up the music just slightly here so you can hear that doodle-doo. There we go. Turn that back down because holy moly, this is a loud trailer. Then they pick up their second piece of loot, which is a hammer. And we get to look at the inventory screen for the first time. And this is super duper interesting because there is a lot to unpack here. First off, you obviously have an inventory. There is a limited inventory. So right now it looks like everything else is crossed out, that this person can only hold 6 items in their inventory. They have a hammer, they have a mushroom, they have a little Groot guy with a heart, not sure what that is at all, a crossbow, a mace, which is unlike anything in Minecraft, and some sort of amulet thing as well. Then over here on the right-hand side, we see this great hammer. It's common, has 20 damage. Great splash is whatever that thing says. A tool for soldiers and blacksmiths alike in forging and in battle. So it's a big old hammer, basically. It gives you some stats, and there are some enchantments down here. No idea what enchantments those are, but it does give us a good idea of this last symbol on this top here. So obviously the first one would be melee weapons, next would be range weapons, next would be armor, next would be potions. This one I was confused by, and then finally is keys or quest items, I would imagine. So this may be enchantments. This screen would be enchantments. Then let's move over here to the player. They have emeralds, which I assume is the currency. They have these little swirlies, which I would assume is XP or experience, because that swirly is above the level and above what I am assuming are enchantments. So this is some type of experience modifier that you could, I assume, spend on enchanting items, which is just like in Minecraft. You gain experience, you spend that experience on enchanting items. And then finally, the player. The player has a armor slot, a melee slot, and a range slot, and that's it. That's like all we get to see. And then down here, there are, it looks like these are kind of quick hotbar sort of things. And so they have the fishing rod that we saw before, and there's 3 other slots for this character. So I would assume on PC that would be your like 1, 2, and 3 keys. Then on Xbox it would be, you know, your Y, X, A, B keys as well. So that is a good sort of overview of the inventory screen. Then we get into some more fighting. They're fighting some husks here. They are discovering some loot inside of this little area. More fighting, and we can see a few more of the mob types. We have these little spiders. These are the baby spiders that poison you in the game. We see some dead things, and also some of the pillagers and illagers over there. But there's something that's on this screen that is very interesting, which is these little guys. They look like little faces, and there's a wisp below them, and they raise up towards the player. So we now get this idea, or we can get the idea from that. And also anything that is dead seems to emanate them. So there's 2 zombies here. This player kills them, and then we get 4 of these soul-like creature things. So I'm assuming this is some type of soul, and we'll see this later on in the trailer, is that these souls are going to be used as some type of, I don't know if that's an ammo thing or something to help enchanting or whatnot. Also, by the way, I forgot to point out, this looks like piles of coins, which is kind of interesting. I think it's piles of coins. It could be reeds or something. I forgot to mention that. Okay, so we move on, and we get a real dungeon sort of look here. Before, it looked almost open-ended, like a lot of these are kind of more open. But now we get, like right here, it looks very open world. Now we are in a dungeon, an absolute dungeon. There are walls. It looks like this is a tileable dungeon going through doorways, and you can also see, whoa, there's like a trap that's going on, maybe a timed trap. So the door opens, the thing attacks, and now we get a mini map. So this is so similar to Diablo, or to really any of these point and click, not adventures, point and click action sort of things, where you get this map of the area, and you can see areas that they have explored because of the fog of war, and areas that they haven't discovered or explored is not in that gray right there. So super duper interesting there. Now we get another look at this player again, but this time they are massively leveled up. So you can see that they are level 17. They have 16 of whatever these experience thingies are. They have a whole bunch more items. So that amulet is being worn. It looks like they have some type of firework thing, or maybe that's a quiver for arrows, or maybe it's a quiver of fireworks, not sure. And they're picking up this corrupted beacon. You can also see that their inventory has opened up a whole bunch. They have a lot more space in their inventory. And this corrupted beacon fires a high-powered beam that continuously damages mobs. It is 73 damage per second. Takes 1 skull, or it has +1 soul gathering, and requires souls. So this is what I was saying before. These are the same sort of faces that come off of those mobs. It looks like souls or some type of ammunition, or something like that. Also on this screen, we get a few more items. We have a whole bunch of different types of melee items. So axe, sword, another sword looks like a scimitar, a weird squiggly sword. This one has a soul icon of it. So maybe it would reap more souls, or it would require souls to use. We also have this book here that also has this soul icon. Super duper awesome. It has the soul face on it. And we also have some boots that have a little feather on it. So maybe a feather falling, or maybe a feather jumping, like a jump boost or a double jump, something like that. Not exactly sure. Finally, back on this beacon, the cube trembles in your hand. Great power stored within, just waiting to be unleashed. The player takes this, puts it on the first slot, which used to have the fishing rod. Don't know why I can't think of the word fishing rod. And then in the next scene, we see it being used. So it's this very powerful item that completely devastates this line of, 5 or 6 different mobs. And also we get to see these villagers in the background. Maybe this is the quest that they're on to free these villagers. They're all locked up inside of these cages back there. And that just totally destroys the mobs and is super, super duper powerful. Now, this is the first chance, if you didn't skip ahead like me, that we get to look at what co-op would be like. And this is a downed player that is revived because of their companion. And then we see 2 other companions meeting up with a total of 4 companions. So we have a view of what co-op could be. Each of these companions looks very, very different with a ton of different loot that they've picked up from around. This guy has this cool wolf outfit. This person who we've been following this entire time has the tunic that they picked up in the beginning. This person has this cool blue armor, and this one is wearing some sort of mage outfit as well. And they each have different weapons. Some of them glow, some of them don't. So really, really cool to see all of that put together. So obviously there's going to be tons of cosmetic items, tons of different things to get. And now we see a view of what it might look like to actually play in multiplayer. And this is interesting because this is a locked view on this one player that we've been following this entire time. The other players are going and exploring in other avenues. This isn't like some weird, like you both have to be on the screen at the same time situation. You're only seeing your point of view. I prefer that. Not that I was expecting it to be a sort of like everyone's on the screen at the same time, but we've seen that in other games, and I'm not really a huge fan of it. So anyway, now they're doing this. We come across this guy who's a little key mob just hanging out. He's so tired. And our player that we've been following smashes the key with their hammer and is now attached to that player. And they move forward and attach the key to a doorway, which was previously locked. So I could definitely see a dungeon crawler. You need to go find a key. You go, once you find the key, then you unlock the door and you move forward. Some other things to note in this scene are there's a switch on the wall. So maybe that unleashes some trap, totally making a guess here. And then there's also some books and stuff on the ground around this key. I'm betting that is just decoration and not something practical. And then they go and unlock the key. Now we get a sense of how crazy things can be. This is the first time we have seen this many mobs on the screen at one time. There's tons of the zombies and tons of skeletons. And we also get a cool look at what some of the loot mechanics look like. So right here and here, there are 2 emeralds on the ground. We got some arrows, maybe even some extra things on the ground. I can see a soul coming in. And we get this really epic attack here with whatever that thing is. Maybe it's a shield, maybe it's a attack. And we can see these souls zooming in, whatever, someone just killed a whole bunch of people. So that's pretty awesome. We get another look at what the inventory screen looks like, and this time this person is level 28, so much further on in the process, and we see all sorts of stuff. This is like incredible, okay? They're wearing this armor, which is a really epic armor. You can see that in their armor slot. They're adding food to their hotbar, but they also have an iron golem behind them. And one of the items in their hotbar here is an iron golem, sort of, the iron and the pumpkin sort of look. And so this iron golem is right behind him. And that may be a clue as to what that other creature was that was holding the heart that I said was Groot before. Where's good old Groot? Groot, come back. There he is, the Groot. So this may be basically a pet that can follow behind you and help fight on your behalf. Also in this area, we see another type of armor. This looks like there's a candle on their head. We see 2 different amulets, sort of the same thing. And also we get a good look at this thing that is being added to the hot slot, the hot hotkeys. I'm not sure exactly what to call them. But I thought this originally that this was food, but it is not. This summons a wolf ally that aids you in battle. So howling can be heard from the shrubbery as you hold the bone in your hand. This is another type of friendly mob that would join you. And so you can hear him go, and then bam, there is a wolf there to help attack. Also, you can see his iron golem in the background there. Also fighting on his behalf. So tons and tons and tons of new information just from that. And then we kind of go into this crazy big cutscene of things, and there is so much to see in each one of them. So first one, it's just the 4 players kind of running towards what looks like an awful lot like the elevator that we saw in the original trailer. We see our player use an attack that seems to send out these weird soul things, and they damage the players there. Some of them die, and we also see a witch being attacked. Looks like they are in a swamp area for this battle. We see a dodge move, a dodge roll, as the character rolls into battle here and starts attacking these skeletons here. And we also get a really cool look at whatever dungeon area this is, with barrels and nice sigils and stuff on the wall, but also a look at some villagers that have been armored up. These villagers are actually wearing armor. It's the first time we've seen these villagers wearing armor so far. We get another view of a attack, and now skeletons along with the villagers are wearing armor, which is pretty awesome. We see a big explosion here, not a ton really to actually, like, you can't, if I go frame by frame, it looks like there's a player over here in the corner, and then a big blast. Looks like maybe another player is being thrown away, but the scene doesn't hang out long enough for us to actually see what is going on here. We see maybe a casting ring right here that this player is casting right here, and then another big ring right there. There's a TNT block in the middle of all of these mobs here, and then a big explosion as that TNT goes off and just rocks these poor illagers' world. And then we also see this other blue explosion emanating from our character here. Oh, so much shakiness. We see another view of the swamp, and this time this illager has some armor on as well. And I love this little death sign in the background for whatever reason, which is really cool. And we also get a look at a slime in the background. So there's a slime back there. And now we kind of go into the very, very last moments of the trailer with some cool light crystals in the back. And then another epic fight ahead of our heroes as they go in with tons of mobs. I mean, just massive amounts of mobs. It looks like there's also a chest back there in the background. And that main villain that we saw in the very, very beginning. By the way, I pointed out this main villain in the very first teaser trailer, that he was down there in the very bottom. So that's pretty awesome. He gives this massive smackdown to all of the players. And what's interesting is there is a zombie doing the exact same thing that he is. So this zombie right here moves his hands back to attack and then like smacks at the exact same time, which is kind of cool. I don't think that this is like a bug or anything, because the zombie is in normal mode while this guy still has his hands way back. I just think that might be how zombies attack in this game, which is pretty epic. So let me just run through that in real time, because I know I'm going kind of slow. So here it is all in real time. It's just the explosions and crazy cuts and whatnot. One final thing to mention that I noticed while playing in real time is that this player now has some type of enchantment on their axe there. It kind of glows with some type of crazy enchantment there. And they go in and fight that big guy. And then, bam, the logo reveal, which we already saw. The only other thing to mention is this guy. Not sure what he is, what he does. He's adorable in a little way. He's kind of, I'm not sure. But I kind of love him. He's super adorable. His eyes are super animated, and he animates quite a lot, and then he disappears. So that is everything there is to see about the Minecraft Dungeons trailer. That includes all of the gameplay, so we get a very good idea of what the game will actually play like. One thing to mention that we don't see a lot of is any type of HUD. So we don't see a heads-up display on any of this, and I assume that that is just to keep this platform agnostic. So we don't see like how much your inventory has or what buttons you might press to attack or dodge or whatever. We don't see any of that, and I assume that is because on PC it'll look different, Xbox it'll look different, Switch and PS4 it'll look different. So they just decided to not include any of it in this trailer. But seriously, there is so much to unpack. I'm so glad that this was released this E3. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on this incredible game. Looks super fun to me. Oh, that's my opinion, is that Minecraft Dungeons looks like it'll be a very, very fun reimagining of Minecraft, the Minecraft world, the Minecraft lore, and everything in a crazy dungeon crawler adventure. So there you go. That's about it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big ol' like. Make sure you subscribe for future videos, tips, tricks, tutorials, and spotlights here on OMGcraft, and I'll see you next time on OMGcraft. Bye!